Have you ever been driving before and came across an awesome light show and you're like, wow, that's really cool. That's awesome. And you're looking at it and it has awesome patterns and effects. Then you see a sign that says tune to 90.7. So you assume, oh, this show must be synced to music. Let me tune to that station. So you're pressing buttons, trying to figure out where the radio is, but you can't find it, and that's when you realize your car doesn't have a radio. Or similarly, have you driven up to a light show before that's so awesome that you want to get out of your car to watch? You open the door and get out, you walk all the way to the show and see that the music is on 90.7 FM, but again, you can't listen to it, this time because your radio is in your car. Well, PulseMesh can solve all of these problems. Hey everyone, thanks for watching How To Pixel, and yes, that is correct. We're going to be talking about how you can get your light show audio to go to your phone so you can listen to your show from any mobile device. And we're going to achieve all of this with some new software called PulseMesh that works with Falcon Player or Xschedule and is super easy to put into your light show. So there's a couple of different things I'll be covering in this video. What is PulseMesh? How do we set it up? What do we need to set it up? And then how do you install the app on a mobile device so you can be able to hear the show from that device? And I'll also be talking about what are the purposes of this and how it can be useful. Like I said though, it's really easy to set up and I actually got it working within 15 minutes after just discovering it. The way I found out about this is I randomly like to scroll through the plugins page on Falcon Player and see if there's anything new or anything added in there. And I saw this one called PulseMesh, and then that's when I learned everything about what it is and what it does. And speaking of what it does, let's answer the question of what is PulseMesh and what it does. PulseMesh is a plugin that you put on your show player, and once it's on there, it will take all of your songs that is on the show player, and it will upload them to their servers. Then, when someone is using the PulseMesh app in front of your show, PulseMesh will send all of the data for that song to their phone, so it will play the audio perfectly in sync with your light show. In my opinion, this is groundbreaking because we've never been able to have audio from our shows go to a phone usually. Most of the time we either have speakers out front of our light show or we will broadcast onto a radio station and then people in a car can tune their radio to that station and listen to it. But there's pros and cons to both of these options, and in the past there hasn't really been a way to be able to get the audio to a phone because some people have looked into Bluetooth and other methods, but Bluetooth has a really big delay. Well, not really big, but sometimes it can be like 1 to 2 seconds. So the two common methods have been either broadcasting it on the radio or using speakers. But with PulseMesh, this is a really big game changer, allowing you to be able to broadcast to people's phone. And if you use PulseMesh, you can still use the other methods too. Like for example, in my show, I'm still broadcasting over the radio as my main method for people to be able to listen to it. But if someone doesn't have a radio, they can install the PulseMesh app and it's instantly ready in there for them to connect to the stream and be able to hear the show. And that brings me to another point I want to talk about. Installing the app is very simple, so the average person that doesn't know a lot about technology could easily put it on their phone to be able to listen to the show. All you have to do is install the app, and then the app will look for nearby displays, and your display will pop up on the phone if they are near it. You can have a picture of your display and information so they know it's the correct one. You just click on that, and then you can instantly hear the show. And there's also a web version too that you can use to listen to the show. But now, what do you need to set up PulseMesh and get it working? Well, you just need a show player, and that show player needs to have an internet connection. The show player can either be Xschedule or FPP as of right now. So Falcon Player can be running on a Raspberry Pi or a BeagleBone. Any of those devices will work. Or if you have Xschedule running on just a normal computer, that will work as well, as long as the show player has an internet connection. And that's all you need. It doesn't matter if your internet connection is slow or fast. PulseMesh doesn't need a fast connection. In fact, PulseMesh doesn't even add much of any load to the network. It doesn't even add much of any load to the show player either. So if you have an older computer or an older Raspberry Pi that isn't the fastest, it doesn't matter because PulseMesh can work with either of those. PulseMesh also says on their website that they can handle small or huge shows with either 1 or 2 people listening on their mobile devices or many, like thousands of people listening to it on their mobile devices. Now, I haven't really been able to test this because I only have one device with the app, and I don't have a way to have thousands of people connect to the stream to see if it can handle that many. But the website says it does. But that is all of the basic information with PulseMesh. Now we can take a look at how to put it on your show player. So if you go to www.pulsemesh.io, they have a whole bunch of information on that website about how to set it up, how it works, everything about it. And I'll also be showing you how to go through the setup guide to set it up. An important thing you should know right now though is PulseMesh is an open beta, meaning that it's brand new software. They're still working on a lot of the bugs, so you may encounter problems while trying to use it. And also, open beta closes at the end of January of next year, meaning that you should try and use this soon because beta is going to close and then we don't know exactly what's going to happen after that. PulseMesh has said that they want to keep the software going in the future, but it's not sustainable to be able to keep it free and open as they are right now. So there may be a small fee in the future if you try to use it. But as of right now, it's free, it's in open beta, so all you need is an email to sign up, and then you can put in all the information for your show and hook it up to your show player. So I'm going to be showing you how to hook it up to Falcon Player because that's the show player I have. But if you're going to be hooking it up to Xschedule, then you can follow the guide on the website that shows you how to use Xschedule. But let's head over to my computer and take a look at how to make your account on PulseMesh and hook everything up. So the first thing I recommend you do is go to the PulseMesh.io website so you can read a little bit more about how it works and all the information with it. Now, as you can see right here, it says it's open beta and you can join the open beta. And if you come up here to the documentation and then setup guide, you can read all the information about what's supported and how you set it up. Like, for example, it only works on FPP version 6 or newer. So if you have an older version, then you're going to have to upgrade that. And then it gives you some information about Xschedule and other things. You can even reach out to them if you want a new device to be added that can work with PulseMesh. But to get started, you can come up here to where it says sign in. Even if you don't have an account, you could still come through here. And you're going to hit sign in with Google. You need a Gmail account to be able to sign up with it. So you can click that, and I have a Gmail account I'm going to use right here. And then once you sign in, you can come up here and hit the dashboard button. Now, it should look something blank like this. There's a bunch of different settings right here you can change. Nothing should be in them. You have this menu over here and some options. So display, this is all the information about your display. And this is what's going to show up on the app. On the app, when you're near the display, it will show some information about the display and it can show a picture. So this is where you put all of that information. The connector setting, this is where you hook it up to connect to Falcon Player or Xschedule. This is where you just put in all the information so your show player and PulseMesh can talk to each other. And I'll show this in a second. You have a viewer statistics page, so you can see how many people have been using PulseMesh, how many songs have been played through it. The settings page, this is some account settings, so you can delete your account, you can change the name on your account. And then all of these other pages down here, these are to go to the documentation or to get support or go to the Facebook group. That's what these are for. But once you have an account, you can come through and fill out everything on the display settings page. So first, this first setting where it says public, if you switch this is going to make it so anyone with the PulseMesh app can see your display and connect to the audio stream. I wouldn't recommend turning this on though until you're fully ready for everything to be running. Name, this is where you can put in the name of your display, and this is what will show up on the app or on the web version. So if I was setting this up, I would put in Bridgeport's Brightest Lights, since that's the name of my show. But I'll show you what my account looks like with all the settings in a second. This is just a blank one. You can put in a description so people can know a little bit more about your show. I just put in something like 2020, or this is the 2024 Bridgeport Spread a Slide show, or something like that. I don't remember exactly. The location, this is important to put in because this is how PulseMesh shows the people using the app what displays are nearby. And they do that so you don't have to share any token information or any codes to be able to connect to the stream. Because if it didn't ask for your location, PulseMesh would have all of the displays in the entire world that are connected to it showing up, and you'd have to use some sort of code to find your display. But since it goes based on location, it can see which displays are nearby and show you those, and usually there's not going to be any more than like one in the area. So it will be very easy to figure out which one is yours to connect to. Now, if you don't want to put in your full location, you can put in your street name, town, city, state, country, all of that. But you don't have to put in your house address, because I found out that worked fine. The only thing with this is when you're using the app, it shows you how many feet away you are from the display, and this will be off if you don't put in the exact address of your house. But I didn't feel like doing that, so I just put in the street. You can put a photo of the display so it's easy for people to see, oh, this is the display I'm sitting in front of, this is the audio stream I should connect to. So you could do that. And then a new setting that I don't think was here when I first set this up, you could put in a custom display page. So instead of PulseMesh showing their default display page, you can put in your own web page. And yeah, so that way it's customized so it could be however you want it. I don't know much about that though, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it blank. And that way PulseMesh would use the default website. And once you're done with all of this, you can hit Save Display, but don't make it public just yet because you still have to hook up the connector so it connects to your show player. But I'm going to log out of this account so I can show you the settings I have on my real account. So let me do that quickly. So here's my real account, and you can see that I have it set to public so people could see it. I have Bridgeport's Brightest Lights in as the name. The description is just Bridgeport's Brightest Lights 2024 Christmas light display. I wasn't feeling creative at the time, apparently. And then I have this blurred out, but here's where I have my address put in. I have a photo put in, and this is actually a picture of last year's light show, but I like it because it's rainbowy and pretty. And then I don't have a custom display page put in. So that's everything on here. And now the next step, once you fill out all of this, is to install the plugin on your show player. So like I said, I'm going to be showing you how to do this on Falcon Player, but if you are using Xschedule, you can follow the guide on the website. So here is my main Falcon Player. And as I was saying before, if you install this, the audio output is still going to work on your Raspberry Pi or whatever is running Falcon Player. So if you're using the audio jack or you have a sound blaster hooked up for audio to come out, that's still going to work, and it's not going to shut that off by adding this. So you're going to want to come into the Content Setup menu and click Plugin Manager. Once you're here, scroll down until you find PulseMesh, which is right here, PulseMesh Connector, and everything is in alphabetical order, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. And click on Install. It's going to do some stuff and install it. This could take a few minutes, so just give it some time. Then once it says done down here, you can close this, and you'll have to restart FPPD. So I will click that, and we will let it restart. And then once it's done, you can come to the Content Setup menu again, and there should be a new spot under the plugins, the PulseMesh configuration. This extra one normally won't be down here for you. This is just another plugin I have installed. Before we continue, a quick extra step I forgot to talk about is you need to enable multi-sync on the Raspberry Pi or whatever device Falcon Player is running on. So go to the Status Control tab and click Multi-Sync. And then make sure Send Multi-Sync Packets are checked. If this is not checked, it's not going to work. Back to where we left off though. But you're going to click that. Head back over to PulseMesh. And now you're going to want to go to the Connectors page. Then click Create New Connector. And now you can name your connector. This isn't going to be shown to anyone. This is just for you to help determine which connector is which if you have multiple. I will call this main FPP because that is what this is going to be connected to. I will hit create, and then it will give you some information about it. You can see the name here. You can see it's currently disconnected. It shows you the playback offset, which right now is 80 milliseconds, and then you can see the active viewers. You can also click the 3 dots over here to delete it. You can edit the playback offset if you want to, meaning if you click this, it will offset the audio by a certain amount. So if you are sending this to speakers that might have a delay, you can set an offset so that delay won't be there. I don't need to do that. I'm just going to leave that for now. And then you're going to click Get Token. And it's going to show you this huge, massive, long list of numbers and letters and stuff. Don't share this with anyone, because then they will have access to stuff on Falcon Player and PulseMesh and whatever. But once this token is here, you're going to click this little button on the side to copy it, and it's going to copy it to your clipboard. And now you're going to go back to your Falcon Player, and you're going to click where it says click here to visit the PulseMesh settings page to configure the token. And once you do, it's going to open up this page right here. And on this page, there's a couple of different settings. The first one being the token spot, and this is where you paste that token that you got. So I'm going to push Control V to paste it from my clipboard, or you could just right click and hit paste. And then you're going to hit save token, and it will say token saved successfully, connecting. Here there's a network interface setting, so you can select which network PulseMesh will contact your Falcon Player through. I recommend just leaving it at default, but if you do make a change, you can hit save interface. Down here, there's some information for debugging, like the connector version, the connector type, and you can also see if there's any files that are currently being uploaded. All of the files for me were already uploaded. I apparently had 13 audio tracks on Falcon Player, so I uploaded all of those, and you can see the log down here. So once you're done on here and you put in that token and hit save, you can go back to Falcon Player. And on PulseMesh, you should be able to refresh this, and there you go. It says connected right here, and that means that it is now connected. PulseMesh is now connected to Falcon Player. So now you could go to your status page here and play some sequences, and anyone with the PulseMesh app can listen and see that audio stream if they're near the display, and everything should work normally. And that is literally how simple it is to connect PulseMesh to Falcon Player. Now I am going to get to how to install the app in just a second so you can actually listen to the audio stream now. But for setting it up, it's as simple as those few steps. Making the account, installing the plugin on Falcon Player, and then taking that token on PulseMesh and putting that into the configuration page on Falcon Player for PulseMesh. Now for the app, it works on both iOS and Android devices. There are a few little bugs that they have listed on the website you might encounter. The app is on the Apple App Store and on the Google Play Store. However, it's not popular at all. So even when you try and search PulseMesh, at least on the Google Play Store for me, I could not find it. So what I did was use a link that is on the PulseMesh website to take me right to the Google Play Store. For Android devices, you can even install the APK file right on the website and install it yourself if you wanted to, but you don't have to make it that complicated if you don't want to. But let me show you how to install that and what to do once you have it installed. So this is going to be a little bit hard to show since I normally record with this phone, but this is the phone I'm going to be putting it on. So right now I'm recording with my GoPro. But I'm going to be showing you how to install the app on an Android phone. I don't have an Apple phone, so if you want to know how to install it on there, I recommend looking at the documentation on the website. But I'm going to open up the PulseMesh website, and then I'm going to go to the 3 dots at the top. Go to documentation, and it should be right here where it says mobile app, and here's all the information about the mobile app for both Android and Apple. Give you some information about how the display will only show up if you're within half a mile, and then it also talks about AirPlay with Apple. I don't know what that is because I don't like anything to do with Apple. So if you do have iOS, you can find all that information here. But to install it for Android, if you come down here, you can click here where it says Google Play Store, and it'll bring you right to the Google Play Store. Or you could click here to install the APK file or download the APK file. Then you can install it yourself. But I'm going to go to the Google Play Store, so I'll click here. It brings it up to this page, and then you can just click install. So I will wait for that to install, and then we can open it. That was really quick. We can open it and see everything inside. So now that that's done, I will hit open. And it's going to ask you to allow it to access location. This is important and you'll have to say yes, otherwise it can't detect displays in the area. So I'm going to hit while using the app. And then it's as simple as this. This is literally the whole site right here. It will search for nearby displays. As you can see, it found my Bridgeport's brightest lights display since it's set to public right now. And Falcon Player is running, all of that's on, so it found it. So I can click that, and it brings up all of the information, the Bridgeport's brightest lights name, the address of it, and then it says the description I put in. But at the bottom, you'll see it only says loading and nothing is happening. That's because I have no sequences playing. So if you try and open it with nothing running, it's just going to say loading. The app also has a little settings gear, and when I click that, there's only two things. You can change the color of the theme, and then there's some information about the app. Now, if there were more displays in the area, there would be more of them, and you could click which one you're closest to watch. And then if there were no displays in the area, it would show something that says no displays found. And I'm actually going to make my display private for a second so I can show you what that looks like. Okay, so I just made it private, so it shouldn't show up on any devices. And if I hit the app, it'll load and look for displays. But as you can see, it says no displays were found. So it gives you some tips about how you can try and find displays if you are near a display but it's not showing up. But if you're not near a display, then just nothing's gonna show up. And then you can also swipe down to refresh, and I just made the display public again. So it should show up. There it is. And as you can see, I'm literally standing in our house and it says 291 feet away. That's just because I don't have the exact address in. Now I'm gonna play a sequence so you can hear it. You just won't be able to see the light show. I might get a video later tonight with it though. But there we go. I just hit play on a sequence. And now you can see at the bottom it says playing. And if I turn it up, you can hear that the song is playing now. I don't want to play it too loud because I don't know what's copyright and what isn't. That's a song called the Christmas Duck Song. It's in the show. But it'll just keep saying playing down here. You can listen to it. Like I said, you could turn it up and hear it. And then when the sequence comes to an end, it'll quickly say stop. And then when the next sequence comes, it will play again. The only thing I don't like is there's no background play, so I can't turn off my phone or I can't minimize this or close the window. Otherwise, the audio will just stop. But it's as simple as that though, so any person coming to watch your show can easily set this up. Just install the app, and then this is the only page they see, so they can hit Bridgeport's brightest lights, it'll open up, and then it's easy as that, or whatever other display is nearby. And then the Apple version works the same way. It's just you have to find out where to install it. You can install it on the Apple App Store or just click the link that I showed from the website. Now, two last things quickly. There's also a QR codes spot. And here's some QR codes that you can show somewhere in your show. If you have like a screen, a panel, or a projector, or just want to print them on a sign, you can put these QR codes in front of your display. So you can take it to, so you can go to the mobile app or you can go to the web player. And the web player is also available right here under general topics. And if you hit that, you can click player.pulsemesh.io. Give it a second to load. You have to hit allow to use the location, and there it goes. It finds something. So that might honestly be even simpler than using the mobile app, because sometimes people might not want to install something. So you can just give them a link to the mobile app, and it works the same way. Just hit it, and
and now it's time for yours.
And there you go. Now you can hear it playing, and it's as simple as that. And that is going to conclude it for this video about how to use PulseMesh. It's actually nice to have a bit of a shorter video now and not have an hour-long video. One last thing I want to say before I finish, I just found this out a few seconds ago. The web player for PulseMesh actually works in the background. So now that I think about it, the mobile app maybe not be the best way to use it right now, unless it gets an update to it. So I really recommend using the web player instead and sharing that link so people could just click on that, listen to the show from their phone, and not have to use the app. I really like this software. It's unfortunate that you can't just run everything for free, and probably next year there's going to be some fee to it, but might as well enjoy it now while it's free, and I recommend you try it out. Even if you don't make it public for everyone to use, just see if it works for you and what you think about it. But if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll try to respond as soon as I can. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.